Narcissist Apocalypse presents Narcissist or Not, Tony Stark. Welcome to Narcissist or Not. I am your host, Brandon Chadwick. I am also the host of the Narcissist Apocalypse podcast. And this show is all about determining if your partner, family member, or friend is a narcissist. So people will send us in voicemails of their actual situation. And then at the end, I will come back and give you my opinion if your partner, husband, wife, mother is a narcissist. So this week, our first week, we have a voicemail from someone named Virginia Potts, and we are going to hear that now, and I will check back with you when it is over.
Dear Chad, my name is Virginia Potts, but my friends call me Pepper, and I'm very confused about my husband, Tony, and if he was a narcissist or not. Here's a drawing I made of him. Before we got married, I used to work for Tony as his personal assistant, and I will not lie, I had a huge crush on him ever since I saw his picture in Popular Science magazine, acting all macho, and I was like, sign me up. Yet I was kind of embarrassed that I had a thing for him. Such a me thing to do. If you knew me, you'd know. Such a me thing. Anyway, even though he had a bit of a drinking problem, it was kind of sexy in a hot mess kind of way. I mean, who doesn't go through a hot mess phase? Am I right? So one day, after Tony got released from captivity in Afghanistan, he invited me into a secret lab. And by the way, that's not sexual innuendo. He really did have a secret lab. FYI, hot nerds are sexy. And I was so honored that Tony trusted me that much that I felt like baby in Dirty Dancing when Johnny removes her from the corner. Oh my God, what a feeling that was. Then Tony started opening up about all of the loneliness of boarding school and the trauma of his parents dying in a car accident. Oh my God, like I'm a huge empath, so all of this just hurt my soul so much. And I so wanted to be that first person he connected with. Which guess what? Totally happened. But then I went onto Reddit's relationship subreddit to brag, and everyone there was telling me that Tony was a huge narcissist, and they were making such convincing arguments too. Like one person said, I bet he love bombs you and then makes you CEO of Stark Industries. And then, like 3 weeks later, Tony totally did. So like, internet reality was becoming real reality, and I didn't know what to think. Also, I just want to point out that even though we argued a lot, he was never mean to me. I just felt like I was always the third wheel on that old show, The Fifth Wheel. Oh my God, I love that show. Do you remember that show? It was such a good show. So fast forward, we broke up and I cried like that old black guy in the Best Cry Ever meme. But then we got back together after half the people in the universe died. However, Tony's old work pals came by the house and offered him a new job. And he was like, sign me up without even reading the fine print. And I was like, what about me, you narcissist? Don't I matter? And do you know what the worst part about all of this was? Things only got worse because pretty soon after Tony started working again, he got into a super mega fight on the job with an alien named Thanos. And Tony sacrificed his life to bring back all of those dead people I mentioned earlier. So now I'm in the fetal position, but I'm also in a state of extreme confusion as I thought my husband was a narcissist, yet he gave his life to save like trillions of people in the universe. I mean, a narcissist would never sacrifice themselves like that, right? On top of that, I have a truly devastating loss of love, like truly devastating. And I also feel so much guilt and shame because I think like maybe I truly never understood Tony, and it pains me to think that he died thinking he was misunderstood and like all alone. So Chad, give it to me straight. I can handle it. I just need some clarity to help myself move on. And thank you so much for what you do. I truly love your show. Your friend, Pepper.
Whew. That was a lot. So thank you, Pepper, for sending that in. Thanks for letting me call you Pepper. To start off, I really want to say right off the bat, I don't think that your husband, Tony, has narcissistic personality disorder. And when I hear your story and your voicemail, it sounds like he had traumatic experiences when he was younger. It sounds like his parents dying and with going to boarding school. I don't know what age he went at. That was traumatic for him, and it was really a life definer for him. And it sounds like he ran a technology company, which eventually you ran, but it sounds like he was a very smart guy. And you also go into him not ever putting you down. So I also am going to assume that he was not manipulating you in any way. You know, things could have been construed as love bombing. The people on Reddit were telling you that. But it sounds like that he was, for the most part, besides the workaholism, which is something that could have been a mechanism maybe to try and prove himself, not just to himself, but to other people. Maybe even to his father who passed away, that he needed to excel. So, and if that's what was kind of going on, it's also possible that, he was confident in what he did, and that confidence could have been construed as being narcissistic. But in my opinion, if that's kind of what was going on, I'm going to say that it was really a healthy dose of narcissism. Yes, a bit on the defensive narcissism side, but it was still something that was not taken to an extreme. And so I know that's probably hard to hear because you have so much going on with your husband dying. It sounds like a lot of other people died and then they came back to life, which is also something very difficult to deal with. So, my recommendation to you is to really seek out a good trauma therapist to help you through the grief of what's going on and the confusion of everything, because it is very confusing. You had your husband pass away, and then you had these other feelings that maybe you didn't say it, but maybe you were balancing: should I divorce him? Should I not divorce him? I'm playing second fiddle, or as you put it, third wheel in the fifth wheel. So there's a lot kind of going on. So, I think that you should go see a specific trauma therapist and really hammer this home, these little parts that I've mentioned here, and to really go from there. And, I just want to thank you for sharing your voicemail with the show today. And it was an honor for you to share your story with me. And I hope that you get the help that you need. And for everyone else who is listening, who is a subscriber to the show, or you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe and send in your letters just like Pepper did, and send us a voicemail, and we'll answer yours the next time we do our show. So thank you very much for showing up. This has been Narcissist or Not. I am Brandon Chadwick, and have a good night.